Hard against Andrew Sheridan. There's a guy with a few muscles. Well said, Robbie. Just wait until we get Tonga and Samoa playing on the same field. That'll be interesting. Well, the USA have just been camped down here for the last couple of minutes, and there is Sean Perry going off, and Peter Richards, who I've seen on many occasions pull on the 7th jersey for England. He's been absolutely outstanding. Plays for London Irish, of course, a teammate of Mike Catt. So it'll be interesting to see how those two guys combine. 20 minutes to go. England 28, the USA 3. A slight problem there. I'm not quite sure why referee Kaplan is just holding up play at the moment. Is that a matter of frustration on the face of Mr. Ashton?
Well, I would have thought so. I think he'll appreciate his side have got a lot of work to do before that big match that we talked about earlier against South Africa.
Oh my goodness. That is the first scrummage for that young man, so we'll have to go again. Once more, the front row having problems just keeping their feet. One or two of the bits of the pitch there, around about the 22, is breaking up quite badly. That will be interesting. Be more than that, it'll be very interesting to see who comes off in preference to Martin Corrie, whether he goes in at lock forward or in the back row somewhere. Meanwhile, Lawrence Dallaglio has just made a bit of an error there with his passing. USA ready to pounce, and English just seem to be hemmed in a wee bit here. And Peter Richards played at every level for England, went to the same school as Johnny Wilkinson, Lord Wadsworth School in London. They actually played together. There's Martin Corrie, the former England captain, along with Andy Farrell, George Shooter as well. Got quite a bit of experience there to bring in, haven't they? Now then, USA on the attack. Good little breakout once again by Isikia. England have got to put him down earlier. He's not particularly big, but he's certainly proving elusive at the moment. Ollie Barkley just being shoved off the ball there. Little inside pass by Mike Hercus. Oh, there's a man over here, but can't quite take that on the burst, but he can. That was a great little burst out of defence by Blake Burdett. So England under a bit of pressure.
Well, you have to say that the USA actually look as though they're in control of this match at the moment. They're playing pretty well. They're recycling ball well. They're stretching the English defence. Although, you know, you have to say that the English defence have looked pretty solid right the way through this match. So if there is a really strong positive coming out of it, it's the way that they've defended. It's just their attacking has lacked momentum, and they just don't look quite as convincing as perhaps Brian Ashton would have wanted them to be.
Well, there's George Shooter, so Reagan is off, so is the captain, Phil Vickery. Got a feeling Simon Shaw will be out of here as well. There he is, Simon Shaw just loping over towards the touchline. But don't be worried if you're an England supporter. They've brought on some really fantastic players. And there's Andy Farrell. Just in the top left-hand corner of the screen there, you can see the substitutions. Martin Corrie has come on for Simon Shaw. Shooter for Reagan. 28 points to 3. So around about 7 minutes left. That was the last substitution that was made. Farrell coming on for the experience of Mike Catt. Lawrence Dallaglio there just pushing Chris Ostanowski. Canadian prop forward out of the way as England burst through once more. This is better by England, but Ollie Barkley needs support. A little left-footed punt there. And he's got Jason Robinson chasing it. That was well taken in by the American Velanisi Malipa. Well, we've seen patches where Ollie Barkley has been absolutely sharp as a pin. And on that occasion, he did exactly the same as he did in the first half on more than one occasion.
Well, I think everybody appreciates that for all his strengths and his assets, Ollie Barkley offers a little bit more as a running fly half compared to Johnny Wilkinson. But again, he's not really shaped this game, I'm sure, as Brian Ashton would have liked him to.
Play on!
And George Shooter there, aiming for Ben Kay, didn't quite make it. Tidied up there by the giant of a man. It is Andrew Sheridan, 6 feet 4 inches tall. That's not Sheridan, of course, but 6 feet 4. That's Matt Stevens, and 19 stone or 125 kilos, whichever way you want to put it. It is some bulk. And Matt Stevens is no shrinking violet either. Born in Durban and plays for Bath. There's Pete Richards, the scrum half. Very impressed with the scrum half Perry today, though. I thought he played well. So here we go. Coming up to 65 minutes now. England 28, the USA 3. Pete Richards thought the ball was coming out at the back, but it didn't. Just popped out the side there. Picked up by Todd Clever for the USA. Oh my goodness, that was a huge mistake there. And good tackle coming in by Ollie Barkley. That was a poor pass as well from the scrum half. Severe pressure now for the USA. Mike Hercus, the captain, absolutely buried by England. And that was a kick out of pure frustration, just to get the ball as far away as possible.
Well, he'll be relieved that he's got his team out of trouble. He put this team in trouble by two desperately poor passes, the American scrum half, Chad Erskine.
Well, there certainly has been a thorough workout for Lawrence Delalios. We see Matthew Tate, the latest of the England substitutes, who's come on for Jason Robinson. Well, Tate has played at 3 different positions for England so far: winger, centre, and also at fullback. But of course, he's got to get good, clean ball if he's going to make any use of it. Tidied up there by the man that is Todd Clever. Richards there, almost being caught offside, but he just pulled back at the last minute, and that's a poor kick. So once again, England will have an opportunity at the line-out.
Well, interesting, that's about the second time they've done an overthrow to the tail of the line-out and lost ball on their own throw in England, which won't please anyone, particularly when they're in great attacking positions like that. They really need to make the most of these attacking positions. That's another one they've lost.
Yeah, that was a poor line-out for England. Joe Worsley looking none too pleased about the result of that throw-in. We'll have a scrum down. It's USA with an opportunity to win the scrum and then get the ball as far away from their line as possible.
And really, in the closing quarter again, you expect the favourites of the side and the top 2 of the side really to be turning the screw on these minnows. But the USA, they've battled valiantly right the way throughout. And, actually, when they're putting themselves in, well, when they're under pressure, it's because they put themselves under pressure rather than because England have put them under pressure. English defence is good, but really, they've got a long way to go before they defend their trophy successfully.
Let's not forget of the matches to come. Not only have they got South Africa, I think Samoa will test them to the limit as well. Knocked forward there. So scrum down. Pete Richards with the ball. Just having a quick chat with Ollie Barkley as to what options there are. George Shooter there saying, come on. Mr. Tigers hooker, replaced Mark Reagan. And he's got 2 very useful props either side of him as well. I think Martin Corino, who's come on, he's playing in the second row. I think he's a fabulous second row forward. I think he's better there than in the back row. Peter Richards just telling his guys to hang on to the ball. Barkley there with the mismove inside. Now, quick ball is what is required here. Richards away. Just a little spin round there from one of the forwards. Couldn't quite get through. Richards trying to send it out to the right-hand side, but he gets a second chance. Forward by England. Once again, a little bit of indecision there, and it's gone wrong for the England side.
Just couldn't clear that ball fast enough. A bit of a knock on there as well from the... yeah, you see the frustration.
Thank you. Now, certainly that's a famous name in rugby, isn't it? Maxted. And just looking on the team sheet here, he'll be wearing number 18. Mike Mangan goes off. You know, you keep saying big guy. They're all big. All of these forwards are absolutely massive. They're certainly very, very big and strong indeed. Joe Worsley is taking a rest, and Lewis Moody has got 12 minutes to stake a claim for a starting berth in this England team. So every substitute has been used by England so far. I don't think there's any doubt they've closed the game down, and the USA are not going to win it. But it'd be interesting to see if guys like Andy Farrell, and Andy Farrell there with 21 on his back, right at the back of that ruck and maul. Certainly a very, very tough player. Fabulous rugby league player in his day. That was almost chased down by Moody.
It's a great kick by Mike Hercus. His forwards will thank him for that. Might buy him a beer tonight. They've been under the cosh right the last 5 or 10 minutes, but great credit to the American Eagles. I mean, they've kept England out. They've prevented them from scoring a try.
Yeah, right. It was a superb kick under pressure. But, let's make no mistake about it. England came here with one thing and one thing only, I think, in their mind, and that was to make sure there were winning points on the board, and there's no doubt they've done that. But Ollie Barkley there, certainly one of the stars of the show. That was George Shooter running into a battering ram of an American defence there. Good pick up by Lewis Moody, almost along the line. Matthew Tate, last England player to have his hands on the ball. There's Richards. Farrell spun it across outside to Moody, standing in the left winger's position. And certainly England look as though they've got more options than at any other time during the game at the moment, but they need good, clean possession.
And it's slow ball again. Very slow ball.
Richards. The turnover was quick this time. There's Farrell. Quick pair of hands out to Mark Cueto, the England fullback. A few bitten fingernails, I think.
Well, they've won the game, and they've won the game with by a reasonable margin, but it's certainly not been a convincing performance. That's the big hit. George Shooter meets an immovable object.
Back.
Welcome to the World Cup, George.
Touch. Go.
So a chance for the USA. Just steadying that scrummage. It was a good take there by the American number 8. Big kick coming in and chased back by Matthew Tate. Now, believe it or not, you wouldn't know it from that angle, this guy's got some of the best acceleration I've ever seen in a rugby player. But Australia having words there. But, referee having none of it. There's Tate. He's got absolutely blistering acceleration.
Well, my eldest boy had to match up against him for his PE assessment when he was doing his A-level down at Newcastle, where they get assessed, and he said he was absolutely electric.
There you go. Little chip forward there by Mike Hercus. Time is running away from the Americans, but they're certainly giving it a good shot.
Well, when you consider the platform that England had at half-time, you would expect a side of their quality, their calibre, their class to really turn the screw in the second half and sort of stretch their lead and be entirely convincing in their victory. But they've been far from that, I'm afraid.
Now, are they going to keep it close?